Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chris Ogle on the L4G Southwest Herts Community TV show, and today I've got a co-host, a brand new co-host, which is Diane Richardson. Come and say hello, Diane.
Hi there, Chris. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, thank you very much. It's been a gorgeous day. We've been out and about on a boat and stuff already today. More on that later. But it was good fun, wasn't it?
It was brilliant fun. It was great. It was nice and bright. It could have been a bit warmer, but it was nice and bright, which was fabulous.
Yeah, brilliant it was. So if you want to tweet about this show or you want to email in or whatever, I'm going to get this professionally done next time. But just for today, there's you can tweet us on L4G SW Herts, or if you fancy emailing the show, if you want to come on or do something, then you can contact us there with southwesthertsdl@linkforgrowth.biz. So as I say, I'll do that a bit better next week, but then you go.
I just need something added to my to-do list.
Ah, yes, that's convenient. Yeah, you do artwork, don't you? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press on very briefly with some of the stuff that's happened in the past week. We've had last Saturday we were on the Watford Market for our regular coffee and bacon butty with Elle's Kitchen. That was brilliant. We ended up going inside though because it was still a bit chilly out there. And then we wandered up the parade and had a coffee with Neil Emery of Reason Cafe. You'll remember him. He was on the show last week. So yeah, we had a quick chat with him and caught up with a few things that were going on there. And then on Monday we were at the Cafe Loco on the Moore Park parade of shops there from 10 a.m. People kept just drifting in at that event, quite honestly. It was a strange event. It started with 2 of us and ended up with about 13. We kind of took over the whole cafe. So
it's better than starting with 13 and then ending with 2.
I guess, but it was good. We kept on adding chairs and tables until we kind of had the whole cafe in our grasp, as it were. Then in the evening, we had the first outing of the evening coffee, Link for Coffee, Reason Coffee Shop. That started at 5:30, went on till 8 o'clock in the evenings. That's there for people who fancy a coffee on the way home, and we should have quite a few of the local shopkeepers pop in and see us there, I think, in time, as they get to know that we do congregate there, because they could do with mingling with a few other people. And then last night, wasn't it? We had Link for Drinks over at Bushy, which was the launch of that one. Did we have something in between? It seems like Monday to Thursday seems like a big gap.
That's all that I'm aware of. Because I attended Monday evening at Reason, which was very good, and it was a good launch sort of thing of that particular time slot for coffee, and then the Bushy one. But I've not been following that much this week because I've been quite busy on other bits and pieces. Yeah,
no, I think that's probably was it. Then we had Link for Coffee at Nash Mills today, which was the canal trip. So the month before we had the coffee in the visitor centre, and it was Sally there who's in charge of marketing there down at the Waterways Experiences, said, wouldn't it be good if we could combine this with a taster session on the canal? So we had limited spaces, but there was 12 of us, 13 of us on the boat today. We went up a couple of locks and down a couple of locks. We've got some pictures to show you later. We'll come on to that later. We want to whiz through this bit, but we're gonna come on to that. So that was this morning, and it's been a glorious day, and we really had a good time there. So anything to say about that? Should I show a couple of the pictures?
Yeah, I think show a couple of pictures. They're quite nice, quite interesting. I think everyone had a good time who went. Yeah, the Waterways Experience people looked after us very well, and it was a very interesting experience.
So, can you see those pictures? Can you see that on the screen there?
Yes, I can see the Watford page.
Okay, so I've gone there. I'm going to just refresh this because I know you've posted recently some pictures on here. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show the ones I put up earlier, and then people can appreciate the difference between a photographer and a non-photographer.
Okay.
So here you go. I'm doing these through glass. So um, uh, this is through the Google glasses that I've got. So that was one of the people that was on the boat today. Let me go to I got the next one. Yeah, so there's another one. The boat that we were actually on. These are all through Google Glass. They're not bad actually, but not in the same league as your good self. That was you on the bridge there actually. Can you see yourself there, Diane?
I can, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not the most beautiful of pictures in terms of the background there, but will be interesting to take pictures of that when that building's finished.
Yes.
And there's another look at the bridge from the other side. So yeah, so we just Google. There's one of the locks there that I actually at this point I was operating the locks, which was quite good fun. So that's that. Now we're going to have a quick look at photographs from someone who knows what they're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So immediately you can see the difference. There's a lot more artistry here, and an eye for a picture, I'm sure, which is a bit different to me. So Sheldrake 2, which is what we're on. I'm presuming there are other boats, Sheldrake 1. I didn't actually look at that myself.
Sheldrake 3, I believe, the big boat, and then the other one is the other narrow boat. Has a different name again, which I don't remember at the moment.
Right, okay. So as you can see, and there's our captain from this morning.
Yeah, a really nice bloke as well, Rick.
Yeah, well, Rick did actually do the video when I interviewed them for the Waterways Experiences. He did the video, so it was it wasn't quite warm enough to sunbathe out there today, I have to confess. But we had some chairs outside for those that were brave enough, and a bit of a gathering out there. That's before we set off, I think.
It is, yes.
Yeah, this was at the boatyard. Slight green tinge on the trees there as spring starts to sprout, isn't it?
Yes, it felt like the first morning of spring this morning.
Yeah. Some fab shots there, really good.
Thank you. And there are more to come. There's a second batch which will go up sometime over the weekend. I presume together with your Google Glass video.
Yep, they're going to be going up. This chap here that you can see here, he's from just up the road, and he's coming back to help the Waterways Experiences as a volunteer. He used to volunteer for them when they were in the previous incarnation, but he's going to come back. So he was getting his getting his practice back in.
Yeah, and of course, with organisations of this size, I know from my experience with the SEND and Watford Women's Centre how vital volunteers are to these small local charity organisations. You know, they have a really vital, important part to play.
Well, they're all volunteers at this one as well. That's a good one, isn't it? I like that. There's me with the glasses on, as you can see.
Cup of tea in hand, as ever.
That's the first time I've ever seen myself in a picture with those glasses, I think. That's a good shot. That's another good shot. That's another good shot. That's turning round.
Yeah.
That's one of those things to wrap your rope round, believe it or not. Some really good ones here. People can take a look at these in more detail if they choose. It was that's a good one. That's that bridge that I caught you on, I think.
It is, yes.
Some good shots there, yeah. That's a good one. Fabulous, well done. That's I think there'll be for them there. So looking forward to hearing their comments. And oops, let me just go back. Yeah, looking forward to hearing their comments about those later on when they get to see them. But brilliant stuff. Okay, so that's a bit about what we've been up to in the past week. Let me just tell you about some other stuff that's coming up and some videos we've done this week. I was talking to someone today actually on that boat. They're from Carpenter's Park, and we're talking about getting a coffee going in Carpenter's Park shortly. And I was down at Watford Workshop. I don't think it was this week, it was a week before, doing some videos. I put one of those videos up already, but there are 3 more to go, so look out for them. And of course I did some video this morning at the Waterways Experiences, so that's going to be going up shortly as well. And I'm going to do 1 or 2 on the market tomorrow. And there's quite a lot of people doing videos in Watford, so we're hoovering them up. And I learned this morning that Demand have got some videos on YouTube who do some excellent work in Watford for people with disabilities and disadvantaged people. So I'm going to collar some of those and put them in under the charity section as well. But you know, if you know people out there like New Hope Trust, Home Start, I know we're talking to all these people about getting videos done for them, and it really is quite important. And as the Southwest Herts district page begins to district website begins to get more and more popular, of course these videos become more and more watched, and there are I think 34 subscribers to that now, so every time we put a new video up there, those people get notified that a new video's gone up, and there's something for them to watch. So do contact us on that Twitter account or on that email address if you want to take advantage of that. It doesn't cost anything, it's all free, so do get in touch with us.
And of course many of those 37 people are internet savvy, so they tweet and forward it through Facebook.
Absolutely, so you get double, triple, quadruple bubble for your buck there. Now, if you're wondering what I'm talking about when I'm talking about district website, I'm just putting that on the screen now. I show this every week, but if you look there, http://bit.ly/L4G SW Herts. It is case sensitive, so do put it in as you see it there, because otherwise you'll get a page can't be found. Okay, so go on there, you will see everything that we're up to in terms of community building in Southwest Herts, and a lot more besides. So just to update you, the Southwest Herts newsletter has been written and it's in publication right now, so that's coming out. That'll have all the events on it and a bit of an update on what's going on over the month previous and the month coming. So watch out for that in your inbox. And right, Diane, what have you got for us?
Well, I think shall we start off with the election, since the campaign has formally been launched. The Green Party candidate has been named as Adrian Cottrell-Boyce, who's a doctoral student at Cambridge University and who's a part-time teacher. And of course he's going to be challenging the current MP Richard Harrington from the Conservatives, Dorothy Thornhill from the Lib Dems, Labour's Matt Tremaine and Nick Lincoln from UKIP on May the 7th. And of course you've interviewed all of the other candidates apart from Aidan, and he is coming into Watford tomorrow to the Reason Coffee Shop at 11 o'clock. So if you want to pop along and meet him there, you can call in at Reason at the top of the town, and he will be there to say hello whilst he's there.
Well, that I'm showing his picture on the screen there. He looks incredibly young, doesn't he? Yeah. but he's 28. I've been told. He's based in Wildstone, I think it is, that Neil said, and he's off leafleting and canvassing tomorrow. So he's popping into Reason Cafe. He's there from 11. You're going up to take a few pictures, aren't you?
Yes, Neil's asked me to take a few pictures, so I said I would. Fantastic.
So if you're interested in the Green Party and the candidate, you can go and meet him there tomorrow, 116 The Parade in in parade in Watford High Street, and you can go and meet the candidate in person. Fantastic, good stuff. What else we got?
Okay, well, we've also got a whole lot of developments on the market, some of which are historical and some of which we're going to talk about in the future. But tomorrow week, the markets have got a Saturday Easter petting zoo, where you can pet the rabbits and chickens, etc., and ducks and that sort of small animal. And they're also providing some expertise around to offer advice if you want to keep these kind of small animals as pets. And they're also going to be having an Easter egg hunt coming up. We also have, linked for growth-wise, this week we have 2 events at different Reguses. One on Tuesday at Ricky in the morning, which is linked for coffee, which is the last Tuesday of the month. And we have another one at Regis Clarendon Road in Watford at 10 o'clock on Wednesday, which happens to be the first Wednesday of the month when we meet. So it's quite rare they're back-to-back like that. And then on Thursday we have the CSI lunch down again at Scottsbridge Mill, because of course Friday is Good Friday.
Absolutely. And actually the TV show will take place next Friday. I'll come on to that in a bit more detail. But you're talking about the market there. I believe that some of the events that are happening at the market are actually being put on by the traders themselves. But an interesting development this week, I've been promising to write a review of the market, like a latest update, because the last one I did was on the 11th of January. So on Friday night, I think it was, I wrote the blog about what was happening at the market. But in fact, I finished it off Saturday, and because I actually updated it with information I'd gleaned from the traders on the Saturday morning. And all is not well, and I've been lambasted slightly by some folk for spreading a little bit of negative news about the market, and I have to tell you, I'm as positive about the market as anybody. However, you've got to get your head out of the sand and stop deluding yourself when things aren't right. And there are a huge amount of things that are going awry down there. There was a huge list of things that were being promised on the 11th of January, and very, very few of them have been delivered. And it's just been dragging on and on. And if you go and read those posts, you can read them. You can go to that page I showed you earlier, and you can pick up the district page from there and go and read those posts. But what's happening, I understand, is that, well, on Tuesday they had another meeting. This was just the traders. Town and country markets were invited but declined to attend, and they're pretty aggrieved down there, really, because they've hardly any of these people are making any money. Some haven't paid themselves for 6 months, and they're now having their rent effectively doubled. They've been at half rent for the winter. Now that's not unusual. Most markets either do that or close. So they've not been given anything there. It's basically what you would have expected, and now they're being put back up to full rent when there's no footfall. Yeah, they said they've got some counters there. 10,000 people going in and out a week, which equates to, I don't know, somewhere between 3 and 6 people a minute, allegedly. But yeah, to have a successful market, you need 100,000 people. So saying there's 10,000 and it's improving is like, it's just not, it's not sensible. You need far more people going through that market than there are right now. The market mix of traders might be wrong. There's 6 empty units down there. They've got space to fill them, so why aren't they being filled? And the answer is because when people come down and look at that market, they say, well, it's dead down there. Why would I want to come be down here? And they've got a point, haven't they? So I put some solutions forward about what might be done. They're going to need to go back to a 3-day week. They're going to need to waive the rent for 6 months in order to maintain the existing traders and get them positive. And they're going to have to waive the first 6 months rental for anybody new going there. So you get the market traders behind it. The alternative, talking to Ray today and Gary and a few of the others down there, the other option is the council take it back off town and country markets. They set up like a Watford Market Traders Association, that's the one that collects the rent and pays the council. They take control of it, a bit like an MBO, a management buyout, where they basically take the responsibility for the promotion of the market, and the market traders work together as a mini community, and they take responsibility for it. To be honest, I favour that one, because the council get their rent, and the traders can then take it upon themselves to do what they feel is appropriate to take the market forward, and they have the funds to invest in the ideas that they want to work. So I don't know about you, Diane, but something's got to be done. And in fact, there was an article in the Watford Observer this week on page 5 where Dorothy Thornhill is admitting that they got it wrong about the market, and that something quite serious needs now to take place to put the market back on track, because otherwise we'll be Watford Market Town minus a market.
Well, yes, and there's that series of photos I took on Saturday mornings where there was absolutely no one around. I think there's 2 people I've in the photograph, and it's Watford Market 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. So I find 10,000 quite difficult number to believe, but I should think a lot of them are kind of double, triple visitors like you and I on Saturday morning are often in and out. Well,
I think in fairness, Diane, it's probably a lot of the traders walking about.
You could be right, but the thing is, I think there is general agreement that something has to be done, which I think is good, and that no one is denying that there is now some sort of problem there that needs resolving, and it's now up to the town and country, the council and the traders and whoever else is interested to sort it out between them, and to sort it out in a way that's going to be good for the town and good for the market, because the last thing we want is a large dead space in the middle of town.
Absolutely, and it was quite interesting on Tuesday evening. Kate Leach from Watford For You, if you want to follow Kate and what she's doing, which is all about the promotion of Watford to external people, at Watford For FORU. Follow that Twitter account. You can keep up to date with what she's doing, and she's doing some great work out there. But she was there, and Watford Town Centre Partnership met yesterday, Thursday 26th, and she was bringing it up as a big issue in that meeting, because that meeting consists of quite a few of the larger businesses of Watford, people like people like John Lewis, people like Wetherspoons, some of the people in the high street as well. So they're people that have been trading there, have got a vested interest in the town and its success. No representation from anyone to do with the market, which is clearly not ideal. So Kate was doing a bit of that work on behalf of the market. So I'm sure that the traders appreciate that, and thank her for doing that. So I don't know what the upshot of that meeting is yet. We'll wait and see. But there's still a lot of unrest down there, and concern over what seems to be an endless series of bills to try and take as much cash off the traders as possible in as short a period of time as possible, and one wonders why that is.
Well, I think that one of my areas of expertise is signing, having designed a series of petrol stations in the past for various clients. The signing, I think, makes it difficult to find the market, and it's not helped by it not being in a fantastic location.
Yeah, I mean, the signage was on the list of things from the 11th. I think they promised 2 weeks, 4 weeks. It should have all been done and dusted by the end of January, and here we are now, just about to enter April. No sign of any improved signage whatsoever. Dreadful, to be fair, and people just passing the baby and hoping that the music doesn't stop with them with carrying it. It's absolute ludicrous, really, and it just it's time to fix it. That's basically what we're saying here. So yeah. So that's the update from the market, really. Go check out the blog posts. They're all online. Just look up the Southwest Herts page, which I showed you earlier, and you'll be able to go along to the district page and find those blog posts.
Yes, and the other thing is, coming up to Easter and everything, the weather's starting to get warmer. It'd be a fantastic time to relaunch.
Yeah, absolutely. And the food on the market is just amazing. People ought to go down there and try that at the very least. And while you're down there, go nip round and have a look at some of the stalls there. There's some very interesting stalls down there. Stuff that you won't find anywhere else in Watford. You just need to go down there, and the fish is great. The fruit and veg is brilliant. They're fantastic, of course. But you've got people selling all kinds of cloth down there, buttons and haberdashery. Candles down there, football stuff. You've got a Shona boutique, which is selling all sorts of unusual gifts and items. So there is some really good stuff down there. You just need to go down there and give it a go.
There is, and there's one here sort of like the sweet shop.
Yes, we do. How can I forget?
Flying saucers and stuff like that. So if you want to travel back in time to your childhood, and you want those sherbet lollies and flying saucers and stuff like that, that's the place to get them.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so that's a big segment there. Moving on now. Craft and Vintage Tea Room. That's happening tomorrow at West Watford Community Centre, 10 till 4 p.m. If you're interested in crafts down that neck of the woods, and then pop along there and see those peeps. You've also don't like that word, do you? People, sorry, people. Diane, you were mentioning there's something going on at Into as well earlier.
Yes, Watford and Bushy Art Society, or WEBAS as they're often abbreviated to, are holding an exhibition in the gallery area at Into until the close of play on Sunday. Watford and Bushy is a local amateur artists group who meet the first Tuesday at Beeching Grove Church. They have a fantastic series of lectures. The standard of work can be very, very high for a local art society. And they have one or two excellent people there who can draw fantastically well. And there's some really interesting people, paintings rather, done by people who are experimenting. And then you get a more conservative type of painter who sort of tries to make photorealistic paintings and everything. So if you're interested in buying some art for the house or whatever, it's definitely worth popping along and seeing what they've got to sell, because of course it changes each exhibition. And I know when they displayed in the Watford Women's Centre shop, they sold reasonably well there and generated a lot of interest. So it's definitely worth having a look at.
Fantastic. And while we're on art and craft, do you want to just mention very briefly Rebel Pebble at the top of the town, because that's a local shop which is there to help local craftspeople to get some high street presence, isn't it?
It is. It's a really interesting concept whereby artists pay for some shelf space, but they then get this opportunity of selling some stuff. And I know a couple of the artists personally who have sold there and are doing have sold quite a lot of stuff out of there. But what they need at Rebel Pebble, I think, is a bit more promotion. And I think they're still finding out exactly what does sell and what doesn't sell. But it's slowly taking off, and like with a lot of retail, new novel retail concepts to an area, they take a long time to build up, but they're starting to slowly get going. And again, it's well worth calling in. I found some fantastic little stocking fillers for Christmas presents last Christmas, and I found some nice little Mother's Day gifts in there for Mother's Day as well. So definitely worth looking at if you're after something that's different to what you can find in some of the bigger, more multiple chain stores in the area.
Yeah, fantastic. So here's the programme, folks. You get into Watford around 9 o'clock, go and see Ray at L's Kitchen, get yourself a bacon butty. Great bacon butty is one of the best in town, I suspect. Then have a little mosey around the market, have a little wander up the outside. They've got some great street markets there. They've got some street food there. Wander up the parade to Rebel Pebble, have a little look around in the gallery, which is downstairs, and have a little nose about all the arts and crafts stuff they've got upstairs. And then why not pop along a little bit further to right near the underpass, nip in have a little read of a book, have a chat with Neil Emery, get yourself a nice coffee at the Reason Cafe. And Neil's a great guy. He's always got lots to say and great conversation in there. And then nip along back to the market, pick up a box for lunch for your street food, and then wander down to Into if you fancy it. But the top of the town there, that's where it's at, and pick up some fruit and veg while you're there. So that's my suggestion for tomorrow and every Saturday thereafter. Right, okay, what else have we got? Now, I saw that there was a coach that caught fire or something this week. Did you see that in the Observer? Or?
No, I haven't seen that, but I mean...
It was a coach taking children to school, 7:30 in the morning, caught fire. Nobody was hurt, fortunately, but I did see that, so glad that everybody got out of there safely. I don't quite know what happened there. Maybe someone can put a comment on the thread here and let us know what happened. Tonight is King's Langley Amateur Dramatics night. They've already done 2 performances of the Pyjama Game. There's a third one on tonight, another one tomorrow night, where a few of us are going along tonight to see that, with Mr. Ian Topman promising to be doing some dancing and some singing, no less. Although he refused to do that this morning at the breakfast event, didn't he?
He did. He was a real meanie. He refused to give any kind of trailer rendition of his performance this evening. So no doubt, Chris, you're in for a big surprise.
Yeah, I think we might well be. Have you got any other sort of generic news before we sort of round up with a couple of other bits and pieces that I've got?
Well, talking of locks and canals as we were earlier, the Observer are reporting that the Grand Union Canal locks down at Hunton Bridge have been refurbished and rebuilt over the winter months, and that they're now fully operating and everything. So people like Tanya, who live on a boat, who might come down this way, or our friends at the Waterways Experience who wander down this way, might find it slightly easier to get through those locks now than they used to.
I remember seeing a speeded up version of a lock gate being replaced. So basically it was an overnight job. They had like 12 guys, I think it was, doing this repair. They had to drain the lock, get down into the very base of it, take out the old bit and everything else. And it was basically a 12-hour operation condensed into about 5 minutes. And it was absolutely amazing to watch what they were actually up to, because you've got these lock gates are absolutely huge.
Well, yes, I'd never realized. You never realise how big they are until you're standing up close to them. And I noticed that you were trying to push them this morning, and you weren't exactly dressed for the occasion, wearing kind of operates chest and locks in the suit. I thought, well, here's the most Stafford lockkeeper in Hertfordshire.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly dressed well. I was wearing a pair of standard sort of business shoes and a business suit, and there I am operating lock gates. That was quite. Did you get a picture of me doing that, by the way?
There is one or two, and I may have 1 or 2 more that I need to tweak before I publish.
I might dress more appropriately on the next occasion.
Well, your excuse is you just come from a networking meeting in the morning.
It is my excuse, and it is true.
True.
Right, okay, I think it's the last week this week of the Eat Fit campaign that Michael Green Foundation people have been running over in St Albans. Now, it's been I haven't been, but according to Catherine Baldwin, it's been an absolutely fantastic success. The speakers have been amazing, and a lot of people are doing all sorts of things to improve their health. Now, I understand they've been in communication about bringing that same event closer to Watford, and I don't know any details, but I will keep you posted. But it's not about going along being weighed, being told you're no good, and being socially embarrassed because you've put on a pound or whatever. This is about understanding food, understanding labelling, understanding what you can do to improve your health, making small changes, and long-term improving your health. It's not seesaw, roller coaster, lose gait, wane, type stuff. This is about making lifestyle changes that enable you to live a healthier life. So if you're interested in that, drop us a note or go check out the MGF, Michael Green Foundation. I'm sure on their website you'll find everything that you need about future events that they're hosting and putting on. So good stuff by them.
And the other thing is, of course, they've had a wide selection of speakers to help people along. From Richard Doughty, who's talked about his experiences of recovery through diet, of type 2 diabetes, to Malik, who talks about running and where he got into running. And whilst we're talking about health, on a slightly different matter, that deals with the physical health, as it were, then Tanya is about to start another Thrive course on Thursday evenings, Sundays, for 6 weeks, starting in about 2-3 weeks' time, isn't she? And she's looking for people to sign up.
Yeah, now Tanya's runs the Thrive program. That's all about helping you sort out your mind and achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life. She runs taster sessions on the first Thursday evenings between 5 and 7 at the Reason Cafe. So that's the 2nd of April. If you're interested in going along, find out a little bit more about it. And then the course, as you quite rightly said, starts on the 26th of April, which is a Sunday morning from 10 till 12, 6-week course, which I've been on and is amazing, to be honest with you. It's I thought I was pretty well sorted. And I was going on it really just to sort of see if I could signpost other people to it. I am a positive thinker, but I did learn a huge amount. And these things you learn are invaluable in improving your overall life. So if you're interested if you're not happy where you are and you want to make some changes, but not quite sure what you're doing, then I do thoroughly recommend you get in contact with Tanya Clark of the Thrive program, and she's based at the top of the town, and you can always arrange to meet her in the Reason because it's about 10 meters for her to get there. So yes, well done for remembering that. Rickmansworth, Croxley people, we need you. We need more of you folk to come and get engaged with us, because we're really starting to push the L4G Croxley and L4G Rickmansworth communities now. The Watford one is thriving, it's going really well, and there's lots of people contributing. We want the same levels of involvement by local people over in Rickmansworth and Croxley. There's no excuse, there's plenty of you, and everyone does a little bit each, and it's amazing. So do come and get involved with us.
And the same also goes for Bushy as well, where of course as we said earlier, we had our first drinks evening last night.
Absolutely. Well, point well made. Bushy as well, and Oxy, believe it or not. There are a few people now. We had someone from Oxy doing some amazing work. Her name's Pandora. What a lovely name. And she's based in Oxy, and she's doing some amazing things. And so people of Oxy step up and get involved as well. Last thing I want to mention is I've instigated the production of these little documents that I flashed in front of the camera earlier. These things here, all right? I've instigated the reprinting of these. They're cards which will be given out to people in the community so that they can easily access all the content that we're putting onto the community website. It's there for us. It's not there for like for just people looking for growth. This is there to serve the community, so the community can get involved and contribute and provide news about what they're up to. So they're in production. Part of that is about L4G Buy Local Watford, which is the hashtag we're using to encourage a real surge in momentum of people in Watford using local traders. 5 times as much money stays in the local economy if you use local traders. There's no excuse really. There's plenty of them out there. It's not cheaper and more convenient than supermarkets, to be honest. And you can't get community and the buzz from being part of the community in a supermarket in the same way that you can going down the market and being part of the community. Yes, I know with children it's difficult. I know it needs a lot more planning. It's not about giving up supermarkets. It's about 10% of your shopping going to local business people, and the more people that do that, you know, we can turn this local economy around. So fabulous. Any final words before we close out, Diane?
No, that's all. This is my first time on the TV program, but of course I've been associated with Link for Growth for quite a while, and I think the support, you know, when I was at the Women's Centre, the support that Link for Growth gave the Women's Centre was fabulous, and the support we give to the Michael Green Foundation and the other charities around here is a great help to them and great benefit to them, because often they do great work, but they don't know how to say that they're doing great work. And I think they suffer from that typical British thing of being very modest about their achievements.
Yeah, no, that goes for a lot of organisations. They don't want to blow their own trumpet, don't want to say how wonderful they are, but the trouble is that most of the time these people are completely invisible. And I say it week in, week out. Local businesses, if you want to promote yourself, how do you do it? And it's not one business person I meet who says it's easy. You've got to spend money, quite a lot of it, with no guarantee of any return, or you just become part of the silent mass out there, and no one can find you because you don't know how to promote yourself, and no one can find you online. Yeah, that's what Link for Growth is about. It's about providing support to you. It's about enabling you to take your businesses forward, get your message out there. Really, really easy. Exactly the same applies to charities. You know, stop going out with a begging bowl. The pot's empty. It's time to start thinking about what you can do to become part of the community and raise your profile and remove that cloak of invisibility. So absolutely spot on, Diane. Thank you ever so much for coming on the show today. I hope it won't be the last time we see you. I hope you'll be a regular participant. Alex might be back next week. He hasn't promised for sure. Sorry?
Who's that, Alex? Who's this Alex?
Yeah, who's Alex? Yeah, 2 weeks, forgotten but not gone. But he might well be back next week. And you never know, we might be able to get a few guest 5-minute slots on to enable us to just sort of mix it up a little bit more. But if you've been watching the show, thanks ever so much for watching it. And Neil, thanks for having it on in your shop, if I said something correct there. But you did say you were going to have it on, so thanks to you for doing that. I'll be here on Good Friday. I'll see if I can cajole a couple of other people to join me. But if not, you'll just have my dull and dreary face. Thanks again, Diane, for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the week sometime, and I'll see all the viewers again next Friday. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.